Hello class, today we're going to be doing an overview of your final exam. These will be the topics that will be presented in your exam. So you're responsible for these topics. Of course, most of the questions in your final are going to be concerning UPAC. You have to know how to name and how to identify the structures given the name. All of the questions are going to be multiple choice. So for only the Benzene derivatives that you study, those are the only ones that you do need to know the common names for. So only for the benzene derivatives. So the other stuff, you do have to know the UPAC name for them. Another topic will be organic molecules, the bonding and characteristics. So this will be the s and p orbitals, the sigma and pi bonds. You have to identify organic from inorganic molecules and just the basic characteristics between organic and inorganic molecules. For petroleum, my understanding was that you did cover petroleum within the hydrocarburos section of the course. So for this topic, you have to know what steam reforming is. So steam reforming, fractional distillation, and then if you search on Google for a diagram on the fraction of crude oil, you have to know the uses for each one of them. Also study the source of petroleum and how it originates. Then for combustion, you have to know the products for incomplete and complete combustion. Just know the basic characteristics of each reaction and how to balance the combustion reactions. For isomers, you have to know how to identify isomers, whether if you're given the name or the structure of a pair of isomers, you have to identify whether if they're isomers or not, and then what type of isomers they are, either functional, geometric, chain, and position. On this video, we're going to cover chain isomers and position isomers, which are the easiest isomers that we're going to look at. Then we have reactions. I'm skipping biomolecules and polymers. So for biomolecules and polymers, you have to know the monomers for each of the four main biomolecules that we covered, the bonds and linkages, and the concept of the polymer. So the definition of a polymer. So it's really easy. And then last but not least, reactions. You have to know the sequence of reactions. Study the handout that I gave you. That's going to help you a lot. And then you have to know the names of the reactions, be able to name the final products using the UPAC system. And of course, you're going to be given at the end of the exam, you're going to be having the table. That's going to be the similar table that you had in your quiz when we covered reactions. So it's very easy. I know you're going to be doing very well in your final. You just have to study the topics. I want to cover some of the questions that most of you got wrong on the last quiz that we had. So let's start off with this question. The monomer of this biomolecule is also present in another type of biomolecule. So over here we have a nucleotide structure, which nucleotide is the monomer for nucleic acids. And you have a phosphate group, you have the nitrogenous base, and you have this 5-carbon sugar. So when did we cover the 5-carbon sugar that looks very similar to this one? Remember when we covered carbohydrates and we covered the monosaccharides? So based on this structure, you do have an oxygen on carbon number 2, so this will resemble ribose. So ribose is a monomer for carbohydrates. And since ribose is present in nucleotide, which is the other biomolecule, the answer for this question will be carbohydrate. So the monomer of this biomolecule, meaning carbohydrate, which it's the ribose, is present in another type of biomolecule, which is the nucleotide, which is the monomer for nucleic acid. So the answer for this question was carbohydrate. For this question right here, based on the figure, select the incorrect statement. So again, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 carbon sugar. So let's look at each of the statements. You can pause this video. I know I'm going really fast because I don't want the video to be too long, but you can pause this video whenever you need to. Or you can go backwards. So let's look at the first statement. The molecule on the right is found in RNA. The molecule on the left is found in DNA. So the molecule on the right, which will be this one, is it found in RNA? Well, I don't see the oxygen, so this will be 2-deoxyribose. So deoxy D, it's found in DNA, and this is the one on the right. So this statement straight out, it's wrong, right? So the one on the right is actually found in DNA, and the one on the left, which is ribose, because it does have the oxygen, is found in RNA. So this is one of our possible incorrect statements. So option number B, both molecules are monosaccharides. Of course, that's correct. So we cannot select this answer as one of our options because we're looking for the incorrect statement. Option C, both molecules are isomers. Are they isomers? Well, one doesn't have the oxygen, the other one does have an oxygen in carbon number 2. So that will throw away the same molecular formula. So no, they're not isomers. So C is another potential incorrect statement. So far we have option A and option C. Let's look at option D. The main difference between deoxyribose and ribose is that ribose lacks an oxygen. Well, we already covered that. Deoxyribose is the one that lacks the oxygen, not ribose. So ribose is right here. Ribose does have the oxygen. So this statement is false as well. So option A, option C, and option D are the incorrect statements, and none of those statements are here. So the answer will be none of the above.